Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all so much for joining the live stream today. Shout out to the NTZ crew. I know y'all on here. Shout out to all my members. What's up, Angelo? I love LaChon. I saw Roger Walker on here. Beat Your Life. Jeffrey Tatter. All my old heads on here. It's been around here for a while. Whoever joined as members, yeah, that's okay. Thank y'all for your support. Any new viewers and subscribers watching today for the first time, welcome. What's up, Kaz? And anybody catching this on replay, the dollar strong, man. I did a video on it today. I wanted to throw out some good news. It's 58.71 right now. It was 58.8 when I went to bed last night. You know, we always have a topic. Today's topic is, are you safe from a natural disaster in the Philippines? And I just want to look at a few things, in light of the Mount Canlaon eruption. They begged me to ask that question. But, this is your live stream. Put it over here. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. But y'all know we always want to review some of the videos I did. I took a lot of criticism on that My Amazing Foreign Boyfriend and Husband video that I did. They said I was flip-flopping. They said, first you called them simps and suckers, now you call them heroes. No, I think I made a clear distinction between the two on that video. There's a big difference between buying some woman from the province a 50,000 peso cell phone and paying 50,000 pesos for her tuition. That's like night and day. It's a big difference between bringing somebody along with you and improving their lives instead of violating the basic law of human existence, which is self-preservation, and squandering away your life savings trying to carry some favor with some woman. Y'all made a clear distinction. There are men over here who are making a difference. And it's a damn shame as men, we can't compliment each other with some other whiny men criticizing us. These are the same men who blame women for their problems. But listen, before I move on, if you don't listen to anything else on this live stream today, listen to this. What one woman won't do, another one will. So instead of you sitting around blaming, arguing with women who won't, make it your job to seek out the women who will. Because really, misery loves misery, but you armchair bros, man, y'all going over the top, man, okay? Y'all find anything to nitpick. Just learn how to take a compliment, okay? And yeah, the dollar's riding high today, and traveling to the Philippines right now is cheaper than it's been in a long, long time. Okay? I promise you. When you get over here, if you're over here right now, your money's going a whole lot further than it's been, according to the Filipino government, in the last 19 months. There's only one other time since the Philippines reopened that it's been this high. It was 59.23. So really, you can go all the way back, a long time. As long as I've been coming over here, it's never been this high. So if you're just settling in as an expat over here and somebody who lives here, your cost of living is going to decrease simply because of that. But the longer you live over here, you're going to see it like this. But I'm talking about visitors, man. If you come over here right now, the island hopping, the food, everything's going to cost cheaper than it would have 2 weeks ago. But let's get to the topic today. And, you know, the recent eruption of Canlaon, it begged me to ask this question: are you safe from a natural disaster in the Philippines? Okay. Myron Smith, and I got to tip my hat to him. Here's what he said in the comments under that Canlaon video. He said, man, we never think of that, meaning a volcano happening in the Philippines. And I agree with him. I said, you know, that's the crux of my live stream in the morning. But and it puts our lives at risk. It puts our safety at risk. That's all we're focusing on, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why we need to have conversations like this. What's up, Jabraz? He said, even men have a problem with men receiving a little acknowledgement, let alone praise. Yeah, that's right. I mean, but the facts are facts. The men over here who know exactly what they're doing, Jabraz, with their money. They're not being fools. They're not chasing women down, trying to curry favor by spending money. They saying, hey, look, you want to go back to college? Or here, let me help you finish college. Or your children. But these guys, they're whiners. Hey, Justin, welcome. He said, good morning, new subscriber. Welcome to Sunshine Shoulders community. He said, I've been living in the Philippines for 5 years now. Well, we got here around the same time. I'm about 5.5 years consecutively. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to put some conversation into the mix, R68 DVR. Women aren't our problem. I'm going to go where I'm celebrated. Y'all heard that. We say it all the time, but what do they do, these whiny armchair bros? But yeah, we focus so much on women, man. We put our lives in jeopardy. A lot of guys don't even know the weather patterns of the place they're coming to visit or to move. They're just following the woman. So know where you're going to be living. Because we're going to talk about some disasters over here. Some of the worst disasters known to man happen right here in the Philippines. Natural disasters. The Philippines is situated on the Pacific Ring of Fire. It means it's vulnerable to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, man. You know, on top of all the typhoons, which wreak havoc, cause flooding and landslides and everything else. Crop damage. But we won't even try to figure that out, man. You know, you jumping over here. Instead of the ring of fire, your pants is on fire. He says it's a numbers game. The more you swing the bat, the more balls you hit. Yeah. He said, Cal, where you at today? I'm in Dumaguete waiting on my visa extension. I'll be heading back later on today. I arrived yesterday about 3:30. I'm in Heidi's cabin, man. It's the only place I stay when I'm in Dumaguete, if it's available. It costs less to stay here now than me and Maryland stayed here in February. That's good news. Anytime you can save money, I'm going to let you know right now the dollar's strong. It's very strong over here. I mean, we take for granted that people know this stuff. And, you know, and all you people out there who are talking about, oh, the locals are going to suffer. No, the local prices are not significantly influenced by the U.S. economy. Unless a Filipino from the Philippines travels to the United States on vacation, will they suffer? Because their peso is going to be less. They're going to get less dollars back to spend over there. But it's just the opposite for you. When you come over here, you're going to get more. If you know what you're doing, though. Remember, you're going to bring the matrix with you. You're going to bring your bad spending habits with you, but it's going to be what it's going to be. If the hotel was $30 2 weeks ago, it's probably going to be $25 today. That's all I'm talking about. But I'm saying know your destination, man. Know where you're going. He said many natural disasters are unexpected no matter where you are. So I personally think we are never safe. Well, you're making a point there, but this is why I say, okay, even though they're unexpected, which they are, do you have an emergency plan? See, that's what we're going to talk about. A lot of times we're too smart, man. We get too smart. Yeah, they're unexpected, Angelo. And I saw where Michael Beach Life said something to the same point. So now that you know that, do you have an emergency plan? Be honest with yourself. You don't have to lie to me, because if it hits, I was fortunate enough to survive Typhoon Odette. I'm telling you firsthand the aftermath. People walk around like zombies. No, very few businesses open. And the businesses that were open, the lines were sky high. They were long, miles long. I mean, really, just to get a liter of gasoline. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what it's about today. Are you safe? Do you have non-perishable goods in your house? The flashlights and everything else, plenty of water and the things that you're going to need. Because I want to give a shout out to the people who helped me. I was stranded there. Jeff retired off the bat, number one, Danny Jackson. It's other people, but they were the first one to say, hey, man, look, get out of there. I was able to get a taxi out of there because, man, and he overcharged me, but I didn't care. It was either that or suffer, man. They cut all the water off, no electricity, no nothing. What are you going to do, Angelo, under those circumstances? This is all I'm saying today, guys. Yeah. But just knowing the history of the Philippines and the 20 typhoons or more that they get every year, Angelo, it really isn't unexpected. If you live in the Bicol area of central Luzon, eastern Visayas, Samar, you know good and damn well you're going to get hit at some point in time. So are you prepared? That's what I'm talking about today. Okay? Because a lot of us are so focused on the women. These women can't save you. They can't even save themselves. Hey, Mr. Ringo, thanks for that super chat. He said, Heidi's cabin has an outside kitchen or an inside kitchen. It has an outside kitchen, but it's a modern kitchen, but it also has all the things you need. Refrigerator, got a toaster, microwave, rice cooker, hot and cold water for your coffee and tea. Okay, but then right downstairs, it has like a modern kitchen. It would look like a modern kitchen in somebody's house. This place is no joke. I don't stay anywhere else if this is available. Stephen Ellie, he said, Cal, you near the volcano that blew its top? I'm 45 minutes. I guess I would be west. I said east, but I think I'm west of the. But I've got a friend, Frank G. He's right there. I think he's 12 kilometers from the damn thing, which they evacuated people 4 kilometers. That was considered the danger zone. So hell, he was in the damn danger zone. But he didn't even know it. He was asleep. He said, you're 38 miles from the volcano. Could you see the fire and cloud? Well, I didn't even know it happened. Okay, I didn't know it happened. Merlin woke me up and told me. Those pictures I put were sent to me I asked somebody to send them to me on my Facebook Messenger. It was nighttime. You couldn't see anything. But remember the guy, I don't know if y'all ever seen one of the guys who used to train me at Viper's Gym. He lives in Canlaon. It's just a small little place. Merlin, one of Merlin's best friends, well, actually 3 of her best friends live there. But the point of it is, it's not a matter of whether it's going to happen, LA, Detroit over here. It's a matter of when. Because no matter where you live here, you're going to be near some type of disaster. Something's going to hit you. But we don't even know if the place where we're building a house is prone to flooding. We won't even ask. All we're doing is chasing some woman. That's all we're doing. He says, speaking of exchange rates, you find that when transferring money to yourself, you never get the full exchange rate. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because the banks are going to make money, Angelo. You're a money man. You ought to know that. They're going to do it. Now, unless you have a chop swab account or one of those Navy Federal who will reimburse you later on down the line. But the only way really to get the full exchange rate is by using your credit card. That's the only way. A credit card that doesn't charge you an international fee. Now you're getting the 100% Forex rate. So if it's 58.71 right now, if I took my credit card and went across the street, or down the street rather, to Robinson Mall, whatever I bought, I'm getting 58.71. That's what I'm getting. Because I'm not getting charged any exchange, and if I pay it off, I'm not going to get get charged any interest. But that's the way you well, who is this Michael Sattler? Let me get to him, guys. This is a troll. Let me go back. Y'all get him off of here, man. He writes some nasty, angry videos. Emails to me. Get him off of here if y'all see him. He's not a good guy. See, let's hear he said, we help each other. We help us. I'll give the grab trike driver that your buddy Eric assaulted $1,500 to have an MMA match with your buddy. Yeah, shut up. Get him. Yeah, I'll do it. This guy's he's one of the worst type trolls you're going to get. When they start coming at you offline, these guys are bad. He's some sorry ass man who doesn't have a life. I feel sorry for the woman he's got next to him. These guys are pitiful. What's up, Jason? Yeah, he's gone. It is like getting an instant discount. But timing is everything. I actually bought the newspaper, and now the U.S. Coast Guard is in the fray over here. They're sending assets. They didn't say what they're sending, personnel. They didn't say how many, but they're on their way here. Because, China's implementing that anti-trespassing law June 15th. Foreigners can be imprisoned for 60 days without trial for trespassing on their borders, man. It's heating up over here. I don't even want to talk about it and put it out there in the universe because it's going to mess up a wet dream. It's going to mess up a wet dream. That would be the only reason I would leave the Philippines. But I wouldn't leave my family. That's why we're on, I've got to get something done real quick. Mike Dorsonville says you always have to have an emergency plan in your life no matter where you are in the world. Yeah, but that's true, Michael Dorsonville, but be honest. Do you have an emergency plan? How many people don't have an emergency plan? This is the reason I'm bringing it up, because I know you don't have one. When people have an emergency plan, you go over to their house and you open up their cabinets and they got all this stuff. And like everything. Okay, candles, non-perishable items. Like, what are you preparing for the end of the world? We make fun of them until it happens. Like it did December 2021 in Cebu. I was very fortunate, man. Almost 500 people lost their lives in that ODAC. I thought I was going to be one of them. I'm on the 46th floor. It was a bad situation, man. It's about as frightened as I've been in a long time. Yeah, these guys are cowards. But what can you do but ignore them? But when I see them, see, they'll show up because they can't help themselves. They want that attention. Okay, instead of standing in the background, not letting you know who they are, they show you who they are. And you zap them. What's a liter of fuel cost in there? Well, you know yourself, Stephen, where you live, things are a lot cheaper than where I live. And then where I live is a lot cheaper than in Luzon. But in San Carlos City, it's 62 pesos for a liter. He says, I've got one. I'm in Texas. Yeah, a lot of people do, but I bring it up because I'm in the Philippine genre. And all we're focused on is women walking meat. That's all we're focused on. We're not focused on emergency plan. We're not focused on natural disasters. The Philippines is situated on the Ring of Fire. How much do you really know about the Philippines? You know absolutely nothing. All you're doing is chasing some woman. I'm just saying, wake up, man. You know, it's a whole lot more to be concerned with. Yeah, I'm going to bring that up. He said, my wife is from CDO. Okay. So she should know to have one because in 2011, man, I went there right after this happened. Tropical Storm Washi, I guess that's how they pronounced it. It caused floods that killed over 3,000 people in Cagayan de Oro, in and around Cagayan de Oro and Iligan, around that area. Bodies were stacked in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. The funeral homes were overwhelmed. They didn't have enough caskets. They ran out of caskets. You could smell the stench in the air of the bodies, man. You know, some of the worst disasters that's ever happened right here. But we don't care. You know, all you worry about is the nappy dugout. You're not worrying about a natural disaster. Let me tell you something right here. Just in the last 15 years, the top 10 strongest typhoons in the Philippines collectively killed over 12,000 people. Now, that's what's on record. You know it's more. Some bodies have never been found. They were washed out to sea. You know, a lot of those bodies, you know, I guarantee you, there was more people died in that tropical storm in Cagayan de Oro and Iligan than what they accounted for because a lot of those bodies were just swept out to sea, never to be found. Hurricane Yolanda was in November 2013. On record, it said 6,300. When I went to Cloven, I spoke to people there. The woman told me it was over 25,000. She said everybody in the city was affected. Somebody lost somebody. He said, imagine watching a 2+ hour live stream just to hate on another man. Yeah, what a life. Yeah, here I think it's like 58 or 56. Yeah, I went to Cagayan de Oro right after that happened. Maybe January of 2012. I mean, it happened so fast, people didn't know what hit them. That's why so many people died. He said, yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's all we're worried about. Yeah, we have no idea who we're dealing with. The people over here are tough as nails. When I went to Cloven, that would have been right before the pandemic, so around January of 2020, they were still rebuilding that place. And it's right on the, you know, it's ocean, you know, it's not, it's right even with the ocean, man. It's spooky looking. When you're in that tricycle and you're riding down the road and you look over and there's the ocean right there. Yeah, they died because of the water surge that came later. The typhoon was over. People were out there getting their possessions and looking for their loved ones, and here comes this big wall of water. the locals called it a tsunami, but it was a water surge because it's level with it's at sea level. He said, I live 10 miles from the main volcano. Wow, you're close. Yeah, hit the like button. I know Johnny, he's coming here next week, right, Johnny? But I don't think people understand that this isn't just all the time strawberries and cream, man, over here. And you need to be alert to it. That's all. That's why we need to have videos like this from time to time. He says, Barry in the Philippines, thanks for joining us. He said, there are more natural disasters in the Philippines than any other country in the world. Floods, typhoons, earthquakes, volcanoes. Yeah, they're on the ring of fire. But y'all know what all we're looking for. Yeah, we'll Google the Chinese anti-trespassing law in the West Philippine Sea. You'll see it. It's big news over here. It's getting ready to go into effect. And what's going to happen is because they're talking about it's consuming most of the West Philippine Sea. A lot of Filipino fishermen are there right now. You know, it's a big food source for the Philippines. They're going to be out there fishing, and they're going to start locking them up, man. And, you know, it's going to be problems, man. I don't want to put it out there in the universe like that, man, because I told you a long time ago, whenever the United States the United States military starts showing up in places, it's trouble, man. You know, y'all can be in denial all you want. And right now, we're not in any direct confrontation or conflict with any other country, which is out of character for us. When Afghanistan, Iraq, we need somebody's ass to kick. Okay, we're chomping at the bit for some trouble. But y'all can be in denial all you want. You know, oh, okay, from the Mayan volcano, okay, which, when did it erupt? It wasn't long ago. He said, and I fed 79 families during the evacuation 1 year ago. Okay, 1 year ago. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Sonny, you're the type of guy I was talking about on my video the other day. The good that a lot of people do. And even though you don't put it on YouTube, somebody knows you did that. The 79 families that you fed know you did that. We're just giving you your flowers, man. We're not bragging about anything, but if you only knew the reputation of foreign men over here, you would do that. Every time you saw a foreigner have a positive impact over here, you would give him a standing ovation, because our reputation is messed up over here for good reason. But it's a damn shame when you're criticized by other men for complimenting men. The women aren't the problem, we're the damn problem. He said, I lost friends in that typhoon league, and I went back a few years later, and the area was totally flattened. The government restricted them from rebuilding in that area. Yeah, it was bad. I went, maybe, I didn't even know, see, because remember, that was 2011. My head was in the wrong place. I'm telling you that I went there right after that, had no idea it had even happened. And it was bad, man. I mean, it was really a sad time. And I told the people who I was there to see, I said, if this would have happened in America, it would be all over the news. I mean, they built a monument. 3,500 people died in the floods and landslides and stuff associated with that tropical storm. But Filipinos are so resilient, man. It's like, man, we gotta keep going. We gotta, handle this and then keep going Man, that's the kind of stuff that makes you respect the people in the culture a whole lot more. Just knowing that. If you don't know that, then you'll come over here, you'll look at them like, oh, look at their standard of living, this and that. I'm above them. Man, you couldn't walk a mile in their shoes. Some of these people over here, man, they've been through hell and back. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Just so that maybe somebody else can see this live stream that needs to see it, who's on their way over here chasing a woman who has no idea what the weather forecast is in Samar, because that's where they're going, or to Canlaon. A lot of foreigners died in that hurricane, man, because a lot of times Filipinos, they've been through so much stuff that when the government says, hey, evacuate, some of them don't leave. Remember what happened in America? What was that big one that hit America? The big hurricane that hit America. And New Orleans. They told the people, they gave them plenty of time, man, to evacuate. But we've been through this before. We can ride it out, man. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes you got to heed the call. He said, I met a girl who lost 4 siblings in Tacoma. I met a woman who breastfed. 10 children because they lost their mothers. She breastfed 10 children. And they interviewed her on television and everything. Yeah, it is hard to believe. Hey, Vanniversary, welcome to the Sunshine Shoulders community. Sonny said, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. But when you do that, people look at you like you crazy, like you a sucker. Or you never should have did that. Trying to get something for nothing. They look at us all as takers over here, taking advantage. Okay, never giving anything back when that's the furthest thing from the truth. And I just did that. I want to give it the flowers because I know that nobody else is going to make a video like that. They don't think it's necessary. Oh, my woman tells me how much she appreciates you every day. Really? Yeah, Katrina. Yeah, they told them, man, get out of there. But some people, heard the call and they left. Other people think, oh, no, I'm going to stay here. He said, yes, indeed, people here, California panic, just having no water for 1 hour, anxiety attack. Yeah, let me tell you something, man. What people over here endure on a day-to-day basis, that's why a lot of Westerners can't actually live over here. We do, but we're holed up in these Western fortresses over here. Hey, Rex, welcome to the live stream. We're so surrounded by Western luxury, we don't even realize we're in the damn Philippines till we turn over and look at the woman next to us. I don't want to live like that. What's up, Hollywood, baby? He said, hey, Cal, been a minute since I got a live stream and not the replay. He said, glad to be with you in the crew tonight, man. Welcome back, man. This guy, speaking of heroes, I don't use that word very often. But as far as firemen are concerned, I got to tip my hat to him. He said, Will lives down in Tacoma. There's no way I would live in that area. Yeah, you're right, man. But is there any place where you can live here where you're safe? Because Typhoon Odette hit St. Carlos City. It wasn't the eye of it, like it was in Cebu and some more places. But it hit it nonetheless. He said, I'm from Miami. I was a kid. I lived through Andrew. It was rough. No lights for days in those concrete block houses in the sun. Yeah, man, but we're talking about hundreds of deaths here. We're talking really not natural disasters, but world disasters. The strongest hurricane, a typhoon on record, since they started measuring this stuff was right here, the Typhoon Yolanda. And then right next to that was the Typhoon Odette. But I just want people to kind of be aware of your surroundings when you get over here. Because people are only worried about the heat over here, man. It's a lot more to be worried about than the heat. Just like they said, it's unexpected. So now that you know, have some type of plan. I'm talking about do it today. Don't wait. Yeah, I'm using the Wi-Fi in Heidi's cabin. I'm not at home. I usually have good success here. He said, where's the Hurricane Alley? According to Pagasa, the weather bureau here, it's the central Luzon and the eastern Versailles region, of which Samar, Tacloban, the Bico, Bataan up in Luzon, where else up there? Legazpi. Just look up wherever you going before you come here. Don't just come over here, then all of a sudden plop down somewhere and spend all that money building these big, gigantic fortresses and stuff, even though you have the greatest of intentions, until you really know what's going on. Because you're not going to get anything back if it's destroyed. Okay, because I was very fortunate, man, to survive that. A lot of people didn't. And after that, I can deal with no electricity, but when you cut the water off, now you're going back into Neanderthal days. You can't use the bathroom, you can't take a shower, there's no water to cook. I was in those fancy condominiums in Cebu. Yeah, they don't think about it. We buy about 7 liters, maybe 8 now. I can't, 7 or 8, up from 3 when I got there, but now it's 8 of those big containers of water, which each one contains about 12 liters of water, but we're nowhere prepared for major disaster. But that's going to change. Because like you said, it's unexpected. It doesn't come knocking on your door and say, you know, you got 5 minutes, I'm going to knock every damn thing out over here. But what we're worried about other stuff, the infrastructure. Them damn typhoons don't give a damn about the infrastructure. As fancy and modern as Japan's supposed to be, do you think those tsunamis and all those typhoons over there give a damn? They don't. They got to rebuild that stuff. He said, Palo, no, one of the biggest, let me see, Typhoon Pablo, I believe it was, in 2012, 1,900 lives. I believe that affected Palawan, but you can look it up. But I don't know what you mean by safe. He said, that's why we fill up the bathtub just in case when a typhoon rolls through. See, that's smart. He said, New Jersey just elected an unalive man for House Democrat. Wow. But you know, when you start talking about, you know, people used to always bring that to me, like, are you worried about that I never was worried. But then when the United States start building, the talk about building up the bases and, making an appearance over here again to, help the Philippines keep their sovereignty, man, you got to read between those lines, man. When all that's said and done, guys, they're going to wake up a sleeping giant over here. There's a lot of bad guys over here who do not like the United States. And they're going to wake them up, man. So I just want to let you know. You got to be real careful. You guys on those motorcycles, run around the Philippines like you own the place. And, we're going to all these places like, there's no danger involved. Well, you let the military, once the military gets situated in those places they're going, and all them ships start showing up the way they used to, and this China Sea heats up, West Philippine Sea heats up, man, well, I tell you. Well, Davao City is. Now, you're talking about them mountains around Davao, either Del Sur or Del Norte. Now you're talking. What's up, Tim? He says a typhoon is a little notice, earthquake, no warning. It just hits landslides. Landslides, no warning. Volcano, okay, here's the crazy thing about Mount Canlaon. All the way up until that thing exploded, it was just, there's no warning. It was just regular danger level, 1. It goes from 1 to 5, it's at the lowest. It just went off, man. But Davao City is one of the most safest cities in the world, not just the Philippines, because, well, when Rodrigo Duterte was the mayor, that's when I visited in 2011. Sorry, you could eat off the ground. You better not even think about committing a crime. Your ass was grass. That place, they called it the city of law and order. I believe they still call it that. What's going on, TJ? He said, what's up, y'all? Reporting live from Aeon Towers. Man, send me some pictures of that. I can post that. Send me a picture of that rooftop. I can get some people excited, man, to show up July 27th, 4 p.m. in Davao, the Aeon Towers rooftop for the meet and greet. He said, I was in a typhoon before back in the day. He said, real men travel of a piece of man in the fields and beyond, knowing the consequences of the land. Not hunting first. Be prepared no matter what, good men. Yeah, that's right. I just want you to be aware of it. We're not even aware of it. We know very little about the Philippines, but we know what dating sites, and all of that. I saw, y'all know I'm not a dick watcher. I don't care. I'm coming out of, I went to Cafe Racer and had that steak again last night. It's pretty good, man, I must say. They got a little filet mignon steak. It's Brazilian cut, but it's still pretty good. And I walk out and I'm waiting on the tricycle, and here comes a guy and a young woman, which I don't care, man, but boy, this guy could not look me in the eye. The young woman's walking like, well, she don't even care, but boy, he's shaking in his boots. He's really an older guy. He looked to be in his 70s. And maybe she was in her 20s for sure. But the women don't seem to care. It's the men. It's like they know they're doing something wrong, which in reality, you're not. He said, that's why we're planning on moving to Davao in the next 5 years. Yeah, the Dutertes still, run that city, but I don't know if they've got the armed fist like the father. He didn't play, man. And then there was rumors of those death squads, man. Now they would, I read a great article in, I want to say the Field Star, it was one of them, inquire back in the day about those death squads. And what they would do is they would give the bad guys a warning. They'll go to the house, talk to the mother, and be like, look, we know your son's selling drugs, or we know he's the one that robbed this and that over there. Tell him to change his ways, or you're going to be sorry. Some of them left town. Some of them, didn't heed the warning. But I mean, it was real quiet there. I don't know what it's like now. Yeah, that's in Davao. He said, I don't know why I'm so sorry about Davao. Maybe I just need to travel to other places to compare maybe. After that, I might appreciate it more. Well, not really. We were talking the other day on WhatsApp, and you have one of those days, you're getting acclimated to the Philippines, man. It takes a long time, Angelo. And you were just having one of those days that I've talked about. I have every 6 to 9 months where nothing goes right. I'm ready to blow my top, and I'm thinking, why the hell am I here? I need to get out of here, and go back to, civilization. And then, hell, the next 5 minutes or the next day, it's all gone. It's just how it is. He said, I was always wondered if we should have left those 2 bases. What's happening now with China is predictable. Well, you didn't leave. We were put out of there. They kicked us out. We didn't have a choice. If we had a choice, we'd still be there, Frank. They had no choice. You were out of there. But nobody really saw this coming, because you got to understand, there's more countries involved in this, what do they call it? Spratly Islands. You're talking about Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia. It's like 7 other countries, but it's just the Philippines and Thailand that I'm, making it so tense for whatever reason. He said, Davao is the only place in the Philippines that I've seen is the laws are really enforced. Seen lots of cops that crack the whip. But they call it the city of law and order. Well, the United States is chomping at the bit for some action. We're sitting back, we're watching Russia having their thing with Ukraine, Israel. Y'all don't understand, man. Ever since I was born, that I can remember. You remember when I was born, we were in Vietnam fighting. That went on to what, 74? And then when I got into the Navy, you got Grenada, Panama, everything. We've always doing something. Okay? Directly involved in something. We're always indirectly involved with all kind of stuff. We're indirectly involved in Ukraine and Israel. I mean, I'm just saying that, we're beefing up, man, for some action, because they were not worried before. They had their hands somewhere else. We were in Afghanistan up to our heads. We were in Iraq up to our necks. But now that all that's over, now all of a sudden, we see this. This has been going on since 2012. But now all of a sudden, the United States wants to get involved, out in front of me. Thank you, Anniversary, for that super sticker. Yeah, he says, Davao taxi drivers are okay. They're required to use their meters, which they do. The first time we went to Davao, don't you know that the taxi drivers were apologizing for the taxi drivers in Manila? That's a true story. He says, here Davao has more law and order, but some officials will still bend the rules a bit or be slack sometimes, favorable for us. Yeah, I think that's everywhere. Yeah, Grenada. It's only a matter of time, that what was that? Is that the Bay of Tonkin? Is that true? Friendly fire. See, that's all it would take is for China to do something that mistakenly shoot at a Filipino vessel and hit an American vessel or something to set it off. Well, he said, Sunshine, read man back up, please. I want to see if you agree. But see, it's so many coming, man. I mean, I'd be going back and forth. Let me see if I can find it because there's a lot. Okay, he said, well, you guys, wait, I don't know what's going on. But he says, for you guys traveling to the Philippines for a woman, the ladies have been westernized, but with sweeter attitudes, so simps, you're still lost. Well, I don't agree with that. Some of them, yeah, you got to understand that you can meet the sweetest province girl who's never met a foreigner before, which, by the way, most women that we come in contact have never had any type of relations with a foreigner, let alone living with one. You're going to westernize a J, not the internet. The internet doesn't provide her with a real mattress and hot and cold water and 24-hour aircon, 3 meals a day. The internet doesn't really physically take her to Boracay and all these other places. Buy iPhones and different things like that. You do all of that, Jay. Yeah, the Gulf of Tonkin. Yeah, you're the one. We're the ones who do that. Okay, yeah, we're the ones messing them up. Like I said, it's not the women. We want to blame the women for everything. We got to look in the mirror on a lot of this stuff. He says, APC Doc said, just left Cebu City and all the taxis ran the meter correctly. Only one had that ran up the bill. Only one that ran up the bill, acting like he didn't know what we were talking about and kept missing the term. Yeah. The only time I really run into it is in Manila. You're going to run into it. I mean, if you don't, then you need to give the guy a tip in Manila. In Cebu, every now and then, depending on what time of day is, and because I ran into it 2022, January, we're coming from, 23. We're coming from SM Mall, and the guy, they got a line of taxis. It's me, Merlin, and the kids. And he looks, we tell him where we're going, or how much. What do you mean how much? Whatever the meter says, dummy. Well, guess what he does? He charges us and ends up the meter's more than the charge. Well, too bad. Well, he said Iraq hit a U.S. ship in the 80s, but we didn't go to war with them until 2003. Well, hell, we shot down that airliner, didn't we? Remember that? With that failings? Didn't we shoot down an Iraqi commercial jet? What's up, Michael? But see, that's 2003. This is 2024. The United States is not directly involved with anybody right now. That's uncharacteristic of us. Now they see this, they know something we don't know. That's why they're building up over here. They know this is the best chance to, to go to war or get involved some kind of way. But advisors have been over here for years. I lived in Zamboanga City on and off for 10 years, man. I used to see the drones landing. I see all the U.S. military men down there. These wasn't just regular military men. You could just tell. Yeah, I can't remember either. It probably had something to do with regime change. He said, please subscribe, everyone. The perks are fabulous. Hey, thank you, Vanniversary. But you know why we invaded Panama? I've got a friend in Louisville, where he's probably in Panama now, retired. But we were friends at the YMCA. And he told me they're still angry about the U.S. invasion of Panama because so many innocents were killed. He said, yeah, we still are angry about that. Yeah, they depend very much on each other. China's not as strong as people think. They're not as aggressive either, but that doesn't mean anything. Hell, Panama is not aggressive. Grenada's certainly not aggressive. Iraq was not a threat, man. We went in there and basically toppled the damn place in a few days. It was all the turmoil that we left behind. You dirty puppy just sent me a message. He says, have I checked out the Filipino Fusion joint yet? Not yet. I've got a subscriber coming who's going to stay in that hotel, you dirty puppy, if you're watching. We're going to go then. He's staying in that hotel. I think it's called the Bella Dama. It's new. It looked nice. I went online. Yeah, he said lots of United States Air Force sharing Philippine bases in the last couple of years. I believe it's around 15 bases that use Air Force, that U.S. Air Force has jets on. He said most guys don't travel into the provinces, just the cities. Well, they do when they meet the woman family, because there's no need to travel in the provinces. You know, when y'all travel in those provinces, you better know what you're doing. You know, you're not Christopher Columbus. You don't run nothing over here. We're not welcome everywhere. This is the point I'm trying to make. We run around like we own this place. You know very little about the Philippines. And then all provinces aren't the same. They're not going up in those mountain provinces like where my son used to live. When I went there in 2010, they said I was the first foreigner ever been there. I'm pretty sure others have, but it's so far up. It's so out of the way. You wouldn't even know how to get there unless a woman took you there. Anybody can go straight down this national road here, and once you get past, Bacone and Darwin and Zamboanguita and Shatton, you'll see the province. Those are the easy provinces. All provinces aren't the same. He said in Cebu, I asked the taxi driver to turn on the meter. He said, okay, but then he'd have to charge me more. That's funny. He said, gentlemen, women are the same everywhere. Now, this is where I draw the line. He said, they all want to be taken care of. It's just that us Westerners have the capability, but that doesn't mean we must corrupt them with too much giving. I don't believe they're all the same, because culture makes a difference, man. Circumstances make a difference. Everybody doesn't have the same culture. Everybody doesn't have the same circumstances, guys. You know, hey, TJ, welcome, brother. But we're not going to talk about anybody's women. Oh, okay. He says that was Iranian. Yeah, either way, but I don't remember really Iraq making no noise, man. In the 80s, guys, Iraq was our our friend. Saddam Hussein was our ally. If it was just an accident. Because I was in the Navy from in the 80s, man. We didn't have no trouble with Iraq then. Yeah, but he talked about Iraq shooting a United States ship. It had to have been an accident because Iraq was our friend in the 80s. We didn't start having a problem with Saddam until he started having a problem with us. Yeah. Which if you look on the map, we always talk about how the Europeans came in and cut all that stuff up. Hell, Kuwait was a part of Iraq, until they come in and split it up like that. Now it's Kuwait, just like Pakistan and India. It's a lot of that around the world. What's up, Cisco? Yeah, he said it's crazy for all the aggressive behavior from China. They have so many Chinese people that live here, live everywhere. You're always going to see Chinese and Indians no matter where you go because there's so many of them. There's too many for them to even stay in their own country, so they're everywhere. You're always going to see Chinese and Indians. But could it be propaganda? We don't know, guys. That's all I'm saying. He said the upcoming election should be interesting. I think neither candidates are any good. Yeah, kind of hard to pick. It's kind of crazy for me. It just lets you know not to take all that. You can talk about the candidates all you want. I was watching something last night, and it's true. What I think Bill Maher was saying, he said it's the people. It's not the candidates. We're the ones who elect the people over and over. Like that, it's not just them, it's us. It's like one lady from Canada actually said something. She said, if a candidate ever said that God told him to do something, he would never be elected in Canada. Only in the United States does that happen. They just don't take it literally like we do. She said that would never happen. Yeah, a lot of them roads are tricky, man. You got to be careful where you go in the Philippines. Some of these places, you you better have a chaperone, and usually it's that woman, because we've gotten too big for our britches, man. You guys think y'all can just go. That's why I say let the lady meet you, and then you go to Providence. Don't be going to Providence looking for her. You see what happened to on one of the last videos he made before he stopped making videos. Regular guy was somewhere down in Mindanao. They wouldn't let him in that Muslim community. It's like, get the hell out of here, man. What are you doing? You can't go back there. We don't want you back there with no camera. He said Western women have a certain arrogance that you rarely see in the Philippines. But it's here, though. But what I'm saying is all women, I agree with you, all women aren't the same, though. You can't that's like saying all men are the same. And I know we're not the same. Because a lot of Eastern Asians and Asian men do not treat Filipinos like we treat them. Okay? And that's why Filipinos prefer Western men. They'll go with the other ones, but they would prefer a Western man. But when you're in a place, see, when I talk about Filipino women. I'm talking about the ones who deal with us. Not all Filipino women. I'm not painting the whole population with that one brush, because there's women over who are just as bad over as they are in America, but the ones we deal with tend to be more humble and tend to be more traditional until we get a hold of them and mess them up. And then we want to blame them for it. Yeah, Iraq was about that oil. It's always about something, but what we do is with proper and so who used to be your friend becomes an enemy. They'll make you hate somebody you don't even know, you know nothing about. Look at Osama bin Laden. He was our go-to man when we were funding them in their war against Russia. Come on, guys. Y'all know better, but you got to read. Yeah, we really were funding Saddam during this war where over 1 million people were killed. Well, you know, nobody, he says, even when Saddam slaughtered 150 Shiites, I had no idea. Well, hell, that's nothing. You see all the people that we killed with that damn atomic bomb that no one else has ever dropped before? And you're talking about hypocrisy. Let's get off of this subject, because that's hypocrisy when we try to tell other nations not to have nuclear weapons and everything. And we're the only nation on the planet in the history that's ever dropped that bomb on another human being. We didn't do it once, we did it twice. We're the warlords. There's no bigger, badder war machine than the United States, okay? That's good, but also it's bad. See? Yeah, he says we didn't have a problem with Iraq. A country at war now did. Yeah, that's right. You're talking about Israel. Oh, come on, man. We're not talking about Trump. Ain't done shit. Trump can't even get himself out of a damn paper bag. He can't get himself out of legal trouble. It's not Trump, though. I don't blame Trump. I don't blame Biden. I blame the people. We're brain dead. You don't demand better. They've dumbed us down so much, man, it's pitiful. No, don't come on here with that. Either show the facts or shut up, man, with this. You know, you're not going to slander the man. Show the facts. If he was caught, then he'd be in jail. But no, don't do that to him. That's slander. But yeah, that's right. That's why guys, every time we turn on the video, you're always in front of that camera. So is Joe Rogan. So is most of the top podcasts. They're not running around sticking a camera in somebody's face for your entertainment. There's enough videos doing that anyway. I'm in my lane. I'm doing what I do best. If you don't like it, keep scrolling. But don't try to put me, you know, in some type of different expectations on me. I'm nothing. I got a damn cell phone making videos. You want to put me up there with the rest of the big guys? What, you want me running around the Philippines shoving a camera in people's face, invading their privacy and all that? You don't even know that Filipinos don't like that over here. You know, them guys who do all that stuff, man, don't you realize that that shit's staged? It's scripted. They go up to the people first and ask them before they cut their camera on. They're not just out there brave like that, stopping people on the street, man. You probably get more no's than yeses. But then at the end of the day, ask living abroad. He sits there and stakes out Ayala Mall. He doesn't just go there with his camera. He goes around. He may be there the whole day, go home for a lunch break and come back. until he gets enough for a video. That's his thing, but he's asking people first. He's not just sticking that camera in their face, but there's enough people doing that. Yeah, it was a part of Iraq. Who named them that? The British did. Oh yeah, TJ, yeah, he said 10:30 in Davao versus 9:30 in Bangkok. No, it's yeah, right now you mean. Yeah, that's where I do live and let live. Well, Obama really didn't do nothing, man. You gotta realize these guys are figureheads. They can't do anything. We don't have a dictatorship in America. Bush was pretty damn strong after that 9/11. When he had everybody behind him, he really had carte blanche. I mean, he could have did anything. That's why we ended up in Iraq under false pretenses. It's the people, man. You can't blame them politicians, man. Everybody was a patriot then. Okay? Everybody was a patriot. Yeah, we keep electing the same folks. Knowing good and well, you better put your pants on and go to work. I don't care who they put up there. Trump never gave me a damn. Obama didn't either. None of them did. Go and read. There's a book by Glenn Greenwell. That's his name. He's an investigative journalist. It's called With Liberty and Justice for Some. We're getting played, man. When people are in government, they pass legislation that benefits the private sector from which they came from. So when they go back to the private sector, the legislation's already there. It's been approved for them to get rich. Did it ever occur to y'all? I'm pretty sure it does, because this is old. Where Goldman Sachs and all those guys who were responsible for the damn collapse in 2008, 2007, 2008, also are head of the federal banks, and they hold a position in the cabinet of the president, even to this day. Come on, y'all. Y'all know y'all smarter than that. And then right after Obama said, okay, Bush pushed the legislate. Obama just signed it into law. It wasn't long after that, they back to business as usual, giving them big ass bonuses and stuff. Just spitting in the face of the people. We didn't do anything. Not one person went to jail. Hey, Lawrence, thanks for that super sticker. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I'm in Harry's cabin. It's the only place I stay in Dumaguete, waiting for my visa extension. They got a lot of new people in that JRC. The lady was telling me to come back Friday. I said, lady, you messed up. I don't ever come back on, nobody comes up back on Friday. And just then the supervisor, she's the only one that's still there. She come to the door and said, hey, what she telling me to come back Friday? Or just come back tomorrow, Mr. Roach, like you normally do. Because I give them 1,000 pesos, because I'm going to tell you, that they got an office right next to immigration in Dumaguete. And that line, for the people who don't want to pay the 1,000 pesos, they want to do it themselves. Good luck. You see the girls out there, they all sleep, and, you know, it's a long line. They all sitting outside, because it's a very tiny office on the inside. And they got these little benches on the outside. And they're all sitting there, man. I'm talking about it was all the way, because I thought, wow, JRC's crowded today. Nobody was in JRC. That's there. That's the best 1,000 pesos you could ever spend. Who wants to go through all of that? You keep coming back. Is it ready? Yeah, no. Is it ready? These people have an inside connection over there. You just give them your passport. You pay for it. You come back the next day and you get it. He said, we started having problems with Iraq. We didn't have problems. We started having problems with Iraq. Okay. Until they start messing with our money in Kuwait. Yeah, well, all basically, it gave us an excuse to go in there. Remember, Iraq oil reserves, what, 20% of the world, hold 20% of the oil reserves in the world or something. He said, could you hear the volcano when it went off? No, I was asleep. Merlin woke me up. Actually, there was an earthquake too associated with that. Several associated with that explosion. That's the scary part. There was no warning. It was still at level 1 danger, Mitch, when it went off. Somebody's monitoring machine is broke. Yeah, weapons of mass destruction. Where? He said, so how's the weather? Well, honestly, we had overcast skies that next day, and I could smell smoke in the air. You know, like somebody was barbecuing without the barbecue smell. You know, the weather can turn on the dam over here. We really need an emergency plan if you're coming over. When we talk about emergency plan, we always talk about in terms of healthcare or getting a ticket back home or getting out of jail. What about a real emergency plan when you're over here and the electricity goes off, the water goes off, the grocery stores aren't open, they're jacking the prices up on everything? Do you have a plan for that? Most of us don't have a plan for that. So that's why we're talking about it today. Like, are you safe from a natural disaster in the Philippines? Probably not, because they're unexpected, but you can have an emergency plan. That's a good way to spend money. He said, I blame the politicians when they purposely give false information in order to start a war, but you have to understand send them to jail then. Nobody went to jail. That's called perjury. Send them to jail then. That's what I'm saying, but we don't demand that. And then they're testifying in front of Congress, the people who we elect to office. They're the ones who agreed to go to war and all that. It all comes back to the people, man. We just sit around and wait for 4 years and then we elect a president. Name 4 people on the Supreme Court justice without Googling it. Name 4 people on your school board. Name 4 council members. You can't do it. Name all of your state representatives. We can't do it, guys, because we're focused on Trump and Biden, whose policies really aren't going to affect us. They're going to dwindle down to the state, and then the state's going to make its own decisions. Yeah, this stuff is stressful. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, Tim, when guys pushed back and said I was flip-flopping, said, oh, you called them simps one day and now they're heroes the next. No, I made a clear distinction on that video, but you know, you whining men, y'all sound like women who sit around, you can't even take a compliment. You don't even know how to take a compliment. I'm going to give these guys flowers. The people over here are doing some great work. Every man over here is not raping and robbing Filipinos and taking advantage of young women. Okay, some people do know exactly what they're doing with their money. That's all. Yeah, you don't need a visa. We come from a non-visa country. You get 30 days upon arrival, you and your children, you and your whole family. Okay. But if you stay longer than that, before your 30 days is up, you've got to get that visa extension or an extension. Okay. Which is 29 days. Then the next time you go, you can do it for 1 or 2 months. But no, you don't need a visa. Just a valid passport with at least 6 months left before it expires. No, I don't trust that, because you still got to go into the office, Frank. I'm 8,000 miles from home. They haven't gotten that down pat yet. I had a hell of a problem. Y'all don't realize when I made my visa run in June 2022, when I came to do Magetti, they said, oh, because you came in on a valid band visa, now your 3 years starts. Your 3 years started later. It started a year later. You got a whole other year. And guess what? Immigration approved it. Gave me 2 months. So what do? I make the big damn mistake. Instead of going back to do Magetti for my next extension, I go to Volcano and all hell breaks loose. Oh, you overstaying, they told me. I said, how can I overstay when you see that the immigration approved it? So now I got to be hands on. Wow, y'all hear that thunder? Maybe it's June now. It's gonna start raining again. But now I gotta be physically with my visa, man, to make sure. Well, you can't. I've never got a 6-month extension because I looked at a video on YouTube. There's a little Swiss guy, and he broke it down on why he thought 2 months was better. And I just started getting 2 months because anything can happen in 6 months. That's a long time. Some people end up having to leave, and now you left all that money. I don't have that kind of money to just give away like that. Anything can happen in 6 months, but every 2 months, it gives me a chance to get out, make a little vacation, get a little break. Man, I'm here by myself. But I've never gotten a 6 month. He said, Cal, you should think about buying a gas generator now before some major disasters happen, plus a large water tank. Yeah, I'm seriously considering all that now, even solar. Okay, because y'all have been, whenever 3 people tell you the same thing, really, that's law right there. You really need to start considering what their advice. And that's where I am now. But for people to just throw that out there about certain things that's very expensive, everybody over here doesn't have that kind of money. Some guy the other day, when I was telling him I'm coming here for my visa, he says, why don't I get the 20,000, the 10,000 or the 20,000 SRV? Well, give me the 10,000. Well, I would need 20,000 because I don't have a pension. People have no idea, but they want to be smarter than the vlogger. Like 20,000 is, no, it's nothing. I've got that in my bedroom closet. Okay. That's a lot of damn money to just sit there. Not only will you have to have the 20, but then you just sit it there. You can't really touch it. Yeah, there's a lot of abundant content, yeah, that you could just keep scrolling. But we love to argue. We love to argue. Does emergency enhance an escape route? Well, they've got some evacuation centers on all those islands that you go to. But we're not talking about an escape route. We're talking about an emergency plan, Kamal. We're talking about having supplies and different things, you know, that you need. When they cut the electricity off, when they cut the water off, when the lines in the store are malon, you can't get fuel. Nobody even thinks about that. We want to know what hotel we're going to stay in with the girl. What city am I landing in? So she can meet me at the airport. You know, well, no, you can run for office yourself, Cisco, but we're afraid. We think that somehow they know better than we do. Now, there's a lot of committees and stuff. You can sit on those committees. You're smart enough, man. Yeah, it's just politics. That's what I'm saying. If you did that, it's perjury. You going to jail. You see where they got the woman in? Remember that lady that supposed to be the babysitter? I mean, the roommate, the woman ended up getting killed. And her and the Italian guy or whatever it was, they were acquitted. But for some reason, she's back in Italy now, and they convicted her of perjury for lying on the man. Remember that happened? What's the name of that lady? I just glanced at the headline. I knew exactly who they were talking about, but I didn't read it. Yeah, but no, it's 1,000 pesos over here. It will be $17 in America, Frank. It's 1,000 pesos over here. It's about 3 days' wages. See, I stay away from this type of stuff right here because it's not going to help you when you get over here. It's going to hurt you, really. You have to value that peso when you get over here, man. You have to put some respect on that peso. Otherwise, man, you're going to go under. You can't keep comparing it like that. It said in the article I read today that you're going to have more buying power when you convert the dollar over into the local currency, and no other time before that. You come over here trying to spend money like I did the first time I came here. I knew nothing. I didn't know to exchange my money at the airport or whatever. So I still had cash. Hell, I paid the taxi driver $20 for a damn 200, maybe less than a 200 peso taxi ride. He says, I have an electronic vault I give away that would be good for uploading your passport and documents into. Anyone is interested. What's up, King B? Well, you could probably put that on your phone, Frank, with that, but you still have to go to the immigration office. So, I mean, it wouldn't do any good to do it online if you're not going to be 100% done with it until 2 months later or 1 month or whatever it is. But this JRC Immigration Services, this guy, that's a genius idea he came up with. Remember I tell you that the genius didn't skip the Philippines. This guy actually has become rich, helping people do things that we can do for ourselves, but they know that Westerners were lazy. How many spousal visas have they done? You got to understand that they're really not doing anything. They're just, you know what we're paying them for? You know what the lady did for me yesterday? She just filled out the form. I still had to give her all my information. But it's genius what he's done. You know how many spousal visas they do, and they cost in 1380s. You could do that yourself. Okay? I didn't pay for my K1 visa. We did it ourselves. They do all that though for people who are lazy, who don't want to do it themselves. Because all they do really is take the information and send in the paperwork. The same thing you would have to do. They don't give you any guarantees or anything like that. Hey, David, what's going on, man? But he's a genius. There's businesses over here that you can earn money, and that's one of them. I mean, you and your Filipino could do that if you focused enough, and you really wanted to earn some money. He said, I sold my house, so will it go for the SRV without pension? Well, here's what I was told, because I got a house. And, Maryland would easily put that in my name if it's going to give me the SRV, but they told me, they said, yeah, you can use it, but you have to put up to $20,000 and be approved for the SRV first. Okay. Then cancel that and transfer it, but you don't get your money right back. I think that's another 6 months or whatever. But if you don't have a pension, it's $20,000 if you're 50 and over. If you have a pension, it's $10,000. Or if you're in the military. See, because people say, Cal, you in the military? Yeah, but I don't have a pension, guys. You have to have that pension. Not during Cooper, he'll have to tell you his story. Okay. They wouldn't take his military disability as a pension, even though he's going to get that for the rest of his life. They're thinking, well, they could deem you not disabled anymore and stop it. You got to have a pension, Social Security or something like that. There's a 20. I don't believe it does. But that's a good question for the PSA or the Philippine Retirement, PRA, I guess it would be the name of it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's all. But when I first came over here, that seemed like a long way off, Frank. I was 55. But this is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay? But at 55, you think, man, well, hell, 62, hell, that's a long way to go. Now it's right around the corner. He said, just woke from a nap. I think I'm going, man, you better go back. Hell, it's 11 o'clock where you are. He said, are you in the guest house or another house? I never seen the curtains behind you. Yeah, I'm in Dumaguete, actually. I'm in Heidi's cabin, just waiting for my visa. Then I'm getting on that bus, man, and make that long, treacherous 5-hour road trip back. He says your military service allows you to get a much cheaper retirement visa around $15.50 US with a pension, Paul. You have to have a pension. Don't leave that out, guys. You have to have that pension. And then it has to be, I believe, the last I checked, it was 800 at least. He said, how long do the bad storms last out there? They usually, once they come through, they're gone. Like usually the next day. They'll just keep moving wherever the winds is carrying them. But there's the typhoon season is all year really over here. But you have a wet season and a dry season. The wet season is usually from I want to say August to February when the worst typhoons hit. And that's been the case. December 2011, November 2013. If you look at them, but those are when the worst ones happen during the wet season. But it's good to know where you're settling, where you're going to be settled. Good to know the weather patterns, David, because we know very little about the Philippines for real. Many people didn't even know that it's situated on the ring of fire, so it's vulnerable for earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The guy said, he said, man, I never thought about that. I know you don't. All we think about is women in relationships over here, finding a traditional woman. Okay. Yeah, you only talk to people over here in Peso. When you ask them, well, how much you gonna paint my house for? They're not gonna say $200. They're gonna say however many pesos. And I don't even know why you even waste your time to go and convert it unless you're new over here, because that should be your main focus, is to transferring from a dollar economy to a peso economy. How does this peso work over here? What's the value of the peso? It's not the exchange rate. If you do that, you're gonna spend 10 times what you should be spending. If you say, like Frank said, 1,000 pesos is 17 US dollars, that's what you're gonna pay your maid every day, because you say, $17 a day, that's a good rate. You're gonna be paying her 20,000 pesos, well, no, 30,000 pesos a month for a 5,000 peso a month job. You have to put some respect on that peso, guys. It's very serious. You can't keep coming over here, but we're lazy. That's why we don't want to do it. And that's why you end up spending more money over here than you should. He said, can you explain that electronic vote, Mitch? He said, what's up, Sunshine? Looks like you lost weight from the sun sugar break. Good job. I have. And I'm going to continue to go on. Now, Friday, which would be tomorrow, I hate using that word tomorrow, but Friday will be 30 days. So Saturday, I'm going to do a short video about it. But I'm never going back to candy, cookies, cakes, Cokes, processed sugar. I'm going to add a little, just a very little carbs, but over-the-counter carbs. And what I mean by that is things that I know that are called like bread, rice, but not both of them. So starting Saturday, I'm either going to pick up bread or I'm going to pick up rice again. I haven't decided which one. And then the next month after that, maybe I'll have both of them. So whichever one I choose, the other one is going to be 60 days before I have it. But whatever the recommended amount of carbs is all I'm going to use. Because as you get older, we need a balance of good fats, carbohydrates, and protein. I don't want to hurt myself. This is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So there's no cheating for me. Okay, there's no cheating. If you see me, he's got a Coke Zero or something like that, you have to know what I've done in order to say, man, this guy really has made a change. He really hasn't did a 180. Not saying I'm going to do that, but I mean, there's no cheating in a lifestyle. I was headed for destruction. Okay, but yeah, I lost some weight. But you remember, it's only been 29 days, and I've lost some weight. I'll know, you will know Saturday exactly how much weight I've lost. But I know I've lost at least 5 pounds. Or over here would be, what? The 2 kilos. At least. Probably more. Yeah, we usually get rain at night. Us too. Hey, thank you, David. It's yeah, social security work, but not social security disability, I don't believe. Because your doctor can deem you to be ready for work at any time. It just depends on what your disability is. Yeah, but Mitch, y'all leaving out the pension. That's very important. The pension, you can't just give those people 1,500 and that's it. They want to make sure you can take care of yourself. The Philippines can't afford to take care of us over here. No, I didn't. I never did. Yeah, it says Social Security is considered, but not disability. He said, no tingo dinero. He said, I don't understand why people sell everything they have and move to the Philippines. What if it doesn't work out? Yeah, well, people, a lot of times we're in the forecourt and they say, hey, I'm going for it. I'm going to take the risk. No balls, no blue chips. How are you going to know if it doesn't work out if you don't do it? It's always good to have a plan, though. And as long as you got that pension, no tingo dinero, you've got a backup plan. Okay, because if you're able to accumulate all that stuff over in America, whatever it is you're talking about selling everything, which most people really just selling their house, maybe their cars and all that junk, you can do that again. They're giving that to you in America. They want you to stay in debt till you die. And then your insurance will pay for that. Some people say they don't have anything to lose and everything to gain. He said, veterans, remember, we get an extra 100. And see, Booby's going to get money. My two sons are going to get money. When I get Social Security, I'm going to sign them up for that. That's going to save me money because now, okay, I don't have to pay child support. Here's your money, well, however much it's going to be. 900, 1,000 a month there. That frees up more for me. Yeah, now Alpina R says VA claims are or can be a hard hill to climb. Even with all your medical evidence, they make it hard. But they've got these companies now, and more people who went through them can help you with that. Jeffrey Tatter went through it. Some more guys went through it in Angeles City, where a lot of veterans are, man. They help you climb that hill, Alpina R, and they get big time success. I told you, okay, for military, okay, it's 1,000 pension. Yeah, see, but you got to have that pension. This one guy I met at the meet and greet. We should check just about every day. He was living in Bohol. He was earning about $2,000 a month as a surveyor for a company in America. Living halfway decent, right? But he said somebody told him to go to Angeles City and, talk to those people about filing a VA claim. Well, he did and received 100%. He said he got like 3 months back pay. Now he lives in Angeles City. All right, I said Angeles City. And his income is doubled. He earns $4,000 now, but he doesn't have to work. Well, you don't get your Medicare till you're 65, Ron. He says, hey, Cal, when you put in your Social Security, will you bypass your Medicare? Which I'm not. I'm taking my Medicare. I'm not giving my Medicare away. I'll pay whatever it's going to be in another 4 years. I'll gladly pay that. Because I'm not, at that age, I'm not going to be able to get an insurance policy anywhere near what Medicare has to offer for whatever that Part B premium is going to be, even if it's $200 a month. Think, guys, before you do that, unless you have VA, unless you're getting your medical from the VA. But even then, it's icing on the cake for me, because now you can get an outside opinion. You can get a second opinion, because that's what your Part B pays for, your outpatient, your doctors, your specialists, ambulance, emergency room. Just about 95% of your Medicare is Part B. Part A is inpatient care, skilled nursing facility, hospice, staying in a hospital. Everything else is Part B, guys. Always remember that. Think long and hard before you give that up. Then they're going to penalize the dog crap out of you for not taking the Part B. And they're going to keep penalizing you until you sign up for it. And there's only a certain time of the year where you're able to sign up for it. So look at all those months you're going to be penalized. So now you're worried, I'm going to pay 140 or whatever it is, 200. Now you're looking at 400 or whatever. Yeah, they're going to get it. Don't be stupid. Yeah, converting is for the vacationers. Yeah, learn this Peso economy. Okay? Make that a goal. Put some respect on the Peso. If you don't, you're never going to be able to really get the most out of the Philippines. People thought I was crazy when I said on my live stream, the only way you're going to get everything out of the Philippines is to leave the women alone, which, of course, and I said it, we're not going to do that. Okay, stop complaining. Okay, deal with the consequences of having the woman, the good and the bad. But she comes with a unique set of consequences. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying, in order for you to really get the best out of the Philippines, 100% of what it has to offer, you have to leave the woman alone. Look at the two traveling expats. He brought his wife with him, or she brought her husband with her. Okay, it don't get any better than that. Okay, because cultural differences are real, man. It's tough. It's the reason why a lot of these relationships don't work. Or you have to go through a lot of them before you find somebody that you're willing to sacrifice for, because you want to be in the Philippines that bad, and she wants to continue that lifestyle upgrade that bad, so you make it work. Okay? Here it is, track care overseas. He said, I lost 35 pounds eating Filipino food, very, very low processed food. If you can do it, if you focus, it's not impossible to change your life, but it's hard. And we want the easy, softer way. Changing your life is hard. Getting ahead and staying ahead is hard. That's why I won't call it a diet, because diets are too restrictive. It's a lifestyle change for me. I was eating too much sugar. I was eating things that were not good for me. And all I did was just drop them. Yeah, you're going to pay with the withdrawal symptoms. Okay? But sugar was my master. I'm going to master sugar. Okay? That's my goal. I shouldn't, at 61 years old, I don't need to be eating Kit Kat bars and Snickers and chocolate cakes from Red Ribbon and whole boxes of cereal and all the sugar I was putting in my coffee. It's not good for a 61-year-old man. So I made the decision to stop. It's hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. My whole diet is connected to sugar. But look on my community page, you'll see it day 29. The results, man, when you start seeing those results like that, you know it's working. So you keep going. I'm at that tipping point now. So if I go back, it's on me. But there's not a cold enough, satisfying enough for me to drink it and go back to the way I was living, because I probably wouldn't have made it to 62. There's no telling what my cholesterol level is now. It's probably normal, because I haven't eaten any Big Macs, no pizzas. I ain't that junk, man. They used to kill me. Now, can I get back to doing it in moderation? Yeah, because that's my goal. But I'm like a dope fiend with the sugar. It's all or nothing. It's abstinence from that sugar. I'm talking about the over-the-counter sugar, not that hidden stuff. Everything's got sugar in it. Okay? But yeah, I'm so thankful, man, that I made that decision. And anybody out there that wants to lose weight, all you got to do, drink more water and drop the sugar. That sugar is the weight gain that you're seeing. But it's just like the doctor said when I stopped smoking. He said people are afraid of the withdrawal and whether or not they're going to what the cigarettes is doing to them. So whenever you get to the point where you're more afraid of what sugar's doing to you than the withdrawal and everything, the pain you got to go through to get rid of it, then you're going to get there, man. Till then, you know, you might as well get ready, you know, to meet your maker. Yeah, they're back. You know, he's doing it right. You know, because we've made women the focus over here. But just know that when you do, there's consequences that come with it. I don't make it all, you know, sugar and cream and all that. You got to talk about all this stuff. These are grown folks conversations we're having. They come with their own unique problems. Okay? It's all, they're probably some of the smartest people, the people who do that. A lot of European men do that. You're with a woman that you got everything in common with. You already know her. You know she's not with you for your money because she knows everything about you. You don't have no damn money. Okay? Y'all watch the same TV shows. You listen to the same music. You laugh at the same jokes. You got your traveling buddy with you, your conversation with you already, and she's got her own money. It don't get any better than that. They're slaying this Philippine economy over here, those two. They got so much content that I could tell them, man, look, make a content about that. Are you kicking the Peso economy's ass over here? We're bowing down to it because we're bowing down to the woman. And, you know, you think, oh, it's impossible to even think that way. Well, it's because it goes over your head. You see what Darren said. He said, Darren Coop, he said, I came over here, I got a Filipino woman, and I moved to Thailand. Even you can do something like that. Or going over there and get a Thailand woman, bring her over here. But to have a Filipino woman and live in the Philippines, you're not going to get everything out of the Philippines that it has to offer. She's going to stunt your growth, man. She's going to add a lot to you, to your life. Don't get me wrong. But she's going to stunt your growth. He said, yeah, sugar makes the poison go down easier. It does. Everything good, thank you for that super chat, Mitringle. It's tied to sugar. Sugar and spice and everything nice. I mean, how good is that cold, God? You know, that big piece of cheesecake, God, or whatever with those extra blueberries dripping down the side and all that, see? But there's an asterisk over here. You got to do that stuff in moderation or it's going to kill you. He said, bread pasta converts to sugar in the body, wolf in sheep's clothing. Well, not really, because we need, well, that type of, we need, sugar's a carbohydrate, Mookie, which the body breaks carbohydrates down into glucose, which we need for energy and for our bodies to function properly. It's overdoing the sugar that gets us in trouble. But that processed sugar, there's nothing good about that. if you use the sugar that naturally occurs in fruits and vegetables, you're really on the right track. But I haven't had bread in 30 days, pasta in 30 days, rice in 30 days. It'll be 30 days on Friday. But how much do I want to torture myself at 61? I got to have some type of enjoyment, you know. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it still needs carbs. But it's just how much do you want to torture yourself? Because this is torture. It's not like I've been, trying to, lower a little bit at a time. I just said, boom, I just slammed the door on it and did it. Cold turkey, man. You know how hard that is? Everything I love, I can't eat. Donuts, no pizza. Nothing. So I don't know what I was withdrawing from. But I know water tastes so damn good now. I don't want anything to drink but water now. My taste for meat is leaving. Even if I wanted to, a Big Mac just sounds so nasty to me. But yeah, guys, I got to get off of here. Thank y'all so much for your super chat, super stickers, thumbs up. I got to get ready because I got to check out of here at 12. Then I got to go down. It's probably not going to be ready, so I'll eat lunch somewhere. But I would like to talk more about subjects that promote healthy lifestyles, but all y'all want to talk about is subjects that promote death and dying. That's just how it is. Screwing with young women all the time, drinking, staying out all night, bar hopping, and all that stuff, man. That contributes to your dying, to death. We're trying to slow down. He said, Big Mac, I'd rather have In-N-Out. It's the same, man. It's the same damn funky ingredients. It's the same damn funky ingredients. All of it's going to clog your arteries. But then you're saying, oh, well, we're going to die of something. Well, I don't want to die anytime soon. Hey, Tim, thank you. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for all your support of Sunshine Shoulders. Now, when you do this, you're going to lose weight because you're not eating that sugar. You're not eating that bread, pasta, and all the other stuff. But I don't think I'll ever do that. At 61, that's too extreme for me. But if you want to lose weight out there, it's fairly easy because just going to the gym is not going to do it, guys. You got to change that diet. You got to change what you eat. You are what you eat, and that processed sugar and added sugar and cakes, candies, cookies, and Coke, it just stays around your body. Your body absorbs it. And then it gets to the point where it starts using it as the energy. So the fat just stays there. Your body prefers fat as the energy source. So if you take the sugar out, now it's eating the fat. That's why you can see on my picture the six-pack coming in within itself. I don't do an hour worth of cardio. It's just the fact that the fat is shrinking away, so now you can see the muscle. There's people over here who are starving to death who have a six-pack because they don't have the fat over there. We've made this six-pack out of something. But I'm just so happy just to be able to see it after so many years of not seeing it. But it's not impossible. Okay, it's not impossible. Most of what we want is possible, but we're lazy. I get pushback when the last video I made when I was talking about we were going back and forth about capitalism. I said, how it makes us lazy because it puts everything at our fingertips. When's the last time you had to go out and hunt for your damn dinner, man? Come on, guys. Some of you guys just love to argue. Who on here built their own house? I didn't say design it, built. You don't have to do that anymore. You have to do anything, none of that anymore. Even the job that you have, because of capitalism, it was invented for you. It was made for you. You didn't have to do it. You're working for a capitalist. So it doesn't matter what generation you come from. And lazy is a broad term, but you know what I'm talking about, guys. Imagine what it would take for you to go out there and get a gallon of orange juice and put it on your table. You know what I mean? Oranges you'd have to pick, then squeeze and do all that other stuff to do. Okay? It would be impossible, man, just to do any little thing that people do. Your tea, your coffee, and all of that. But take care. Stay safe, stay out of trouble. I'll see y'all next time. Don't do anything stupid.